I sped him while streaming on a Hawaiian vacation. Unworn white Levi's were covering his femur until he covered them with coffee and creamer. Mr.G, 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 he's your average teacher on IRL streamer. Mr.G, 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 he's your average teacher on IRL streamer. He's your average teacher on IRL streamer. Mr.G, 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 he's your average teacher on IRL streamer. Mr.G, 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 Mr.G. Mr.G, 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 he's your average teacher on IRL streamer. Mr.G, 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 he's your average teacher on IRL streamer. Americana writer got no education. I sped him while streaming on a Hawaiian vacation. Unworn white Levi's were covering his femur until he covered them with coffee and creamer. Mr.G, 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 he's your average teacher on IRL streamer. Mr.G, 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 he's your average teacher on IRL streamer. He's your average teacher on IRL streamer. Mr.G, 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 he's your average teacher on IRL streamer. Mr.G, 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 he's your average teacher on IRL streamer. Mr.G, 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 he's your average teacher on IRL streamer. Americana writer got no education. I sped him while streaming on a Hawaiian vacation. Unworn white Levi's were covering his femur until he covered them with coffee and creamer. Mr.G, 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 he's your average teacher on IRL streamer. Mr.G, 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 he's your average teacher on IRL streamer. He's your average teacher on IRL streamer. Mr.G, 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 he's your average teacher on IRL streamer. Mr.G, 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 Mr.G.
Fucking A.
Standing while streaming on a Hawaiian vacation. Unworn white Levi's were covering his femur until he covered them with coffee and creamer. Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G. He's your average teacher on Iowa streamer. Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G. He's your average teacher on Iowa streamer. Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G. He's your average teacher on Iowa streamer. Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G. He's your average teacher on Iowa streamer. Mr. G, 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 Mr. G. Beautiful Nebraska, peaceful rugged land, laced with many rivers and the fields of sand, dark green valleys labeled in the earth. Rain and sunshine bring abundant growth. Beautiful Nebraska, as you look around, you will find a rainbow reaching into the ground. All these wonders by the Master's hand. Beautiful Nebraska land. We are so proud of this state where we live. There is no place that has so much to live. Beautiful Nebraska, as you look around.
Cody 8804. Zip. Iowa.
Hey, Cody.
Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G. He's your average teacher on Iowa streamer. Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G. He's your average teacher on Iowa streamer. Americana writer got no education. I spent him while streaming on a Hawaiian vacation. Unworn white Levi's were covering his femur until he covered them with coffee and creamer. Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G. He's your average teacher on Iowa streamer. Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G. He's your average teacher on Iowa streamer. Mr. G, 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 Mr. G, 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 Mr. G, 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 G. Adler's teacher, gone Iowa street. Mr. G, 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 Mr. G,
Hi, I'm Mr. G. Welcome to my class. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. Hey Google, play some Bach, please.
Playing Johann Sebastian Bach on Pandora.
Some little technical difficulty there. So today's December 3rd.
Joshans underscore
Hey Shoshan. Hey Google, volume 4.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey Shoshan, hey Cody. How are you guys today? Let's add some fancy graphics. Today, we are going to be learning about the great state of Nebraska. Tomorrow's state is Colorado. There's no class on Saturday or Sunday. So, today's state is Nebraska. Who in here has been to Nebraska? Anybody? Cody? Shoshan? Anybody else? I think I might have driven through there once. Just in the panhandle, because if you didn't notice, the state of Nebraska, it's got a really odd shape to it. It's kind of like Texas, they both have panhandles, except the Nebraska panhandle is horizontal and the Texas panhandle is vertical. Any questions? No. Okay. So Nebraska, the population is about 2 million people statewide. The two biggest cities in Nebraska are Lincoln, Nebraska, and what's the other one called? Omaha. Omaha. Fun word to say, huh?
Joshans underscore new underscore alt. Tip. What's a Leopold?
Have you guys heard of Omaha Steaks? That's how you eat a steak, if you're wondering. Dip it in the A1 sauce. I prefer my steaks medium rare. Gotta have a little blood in there.
Help Mr. G with the donation.
Help Mr. G.
HTTPS.
Help Mr. G with money and donations. And Omaha Steaks. I've actually never had an Omaha steak. I can't tell you. Oh, I have actually. I have. I didn't associate it back then, but in my first book, Gonzo Education. This book right here, Gonzo Education, it's available on Amazon and at Walmart.com and soon also Barnes & Noble.
Tip. I only eat well-done steak with ketchup.
Some people only eat well-done steak, and that's the healthiest way to go. Food poisoning kills more people every year than coronavirus. Not really, but it kills a lot. Coronavirus kills the most. Who are we kidding, right? But anyways, there's a chapter in my book, Gonzo Education, where I just get back from a road trip from California, and I was like in a movie actually the day I got back here. I wonder what happened in that movie. It was a horror movie. They used my profile, the side of my face, as the opening credits of the movie, like Alfred Hitchcock. You know, like the shadow of the side of his face. I swear to God. It was so fucking weird. Anyways, I was like living out of my car, but I was so like on top of the world at that time. And I moved in with this homeless guy. I mean, this gay guy. I was the homeless guy. But I put an ad on Craigslist. I talk about it in this book. Like, I really needed a shower. I was really productive at this time. I was reading a lot. I was working, day labor and stuff. This was before I started school. This was the summer before I started at the University of Texas. So I had the summer off.
_T___.
I just got back from California from an unsuccessful trip on the game show Price is Right, back when Bob Barker was still the host of the show. And I didn't win a new car, and I didn't win the Plinko chips, and I didn't win shit, actually. But anyways, so I get back, and I'm kind of in a tough spot, and I do that one movie that I just mentioned. I don't know whatever happened to it. I never saw the movie. But then I put an ad on Craigslist that said, I need a shower, $10. Like, I was willing to pay for a shower for $10. And I got a bunch of, nobody answered at first. And then I put a few pictures of me with my shirt off, and a bunch of people started answering, mostly gay men. One of the individuals that answers lived within, a couple miles of the library, so I drove to his place, and I had a $10 bill in hand, like waving it in my hand. And the guy, nice guy, he had just built a guest shower, like a huge deluxe shower. And hey, Doughboy, what's up? And he wanted somebody to try out his shower because nobody had ever used it before except for himself. And it was like a deluxe shower with all these different devices and a seat to sit down on, and waterfall and everything like that. And so I was like, okay, and then so I want to pay for the shower, but after the shower he's like, hey, I'm looking for a roommate, blah blah blah. I know you're having a tough time, but I went to University of Texas, and if you'd like to stay here, and when I stayed there, he had a black lab too, which was really nice, the dog. It was during the World Cup of 2006, and he had frozen pork chops, and I ate more meat during that time that I lived there.
Sounds like a porno storyline.
Good one, Shoshin. I ate more meat while I lived with a gay guy than I had in my entire life, and I had so much more appreciation for steaks and for frozen hamburgers and cooking too. He had a very large kitchen, and I would not only eat steaks, I would do a lot of cooking there. I mentioned he was a gay guy, but he never hit on me or anything, which is fun, But anyways, it was interesting. And
okay, Ned. Meet with the gay guy. You serve us the jokes, Captain.
Meet with the gay guy. M-E-A-T. I'm pretty hungry after talking about all those steaks.
Extopoi magic. No wonder he was good with meat, Captain.
But yeah, I really enjoyed living there during the brief time. One main reason is because of the steaks. So we'll get so you can see there's many different varieties of the Omaha steak. Use these scales and descriptions to find the perfect steak, whether you're looking for high tenderness, bold, beefy flavor, or both. So you have the flat iron steak on top. And you have the rib eye crown.
Now I want steak LOL.
Next one after that is the T-bone. A lot of people like the
He showed
T-bone.
MRG how to tenderize his meat.
A lot of people like T-bone. Personally, I think you get more bone than the T. I'm a ribeye type of guy. I don't know about you guys. I like a ribeye. If I see that little eye bone, that means it's going to be a good steak.
Later, bro.
Hey OT, I'm sorry. OT, I'm sorry. Come back, OT. OT, I'm sorry.
T ___. Tip.
Hey Google. Volume 10.
Tip.
Hey Google.
All good.
Play Still Corners for our lovely OT.
Got it. Asking Pandora to play some music.
You can send Mr.G posts and PIN packages to 11.
Hey Google. That's Cigarettes After Sex. Hey Google, play Still Corners.
Okay. Your Pandora playlist called Still Corners Radio thumbs up. Here you go.
Hey Google, next. I'll get you some Still Corners here. Okay. Hey Google, play Still Corners.
Instead
Got
of
it.
next
Playing your Pandora playlist called Still Corners Radio thumbs up.
It is a classical music song that fits the GX
Hey Google,
experience.
pause. Whoa, really?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Tip. Can you play the Lucky Star intro next?
Hey Google, pause for a second, okay? Hey Google, suck my dick. Just kidding. Google.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Yeah, you don't understand shit.
Next no point magic. Tip. Google Assistant is slacking.
All right, this song right here
Working in.
is for
Tip.
for
Hey
OT.
Google, tenderize my meat. Stream elements. Tip. The new merch is here, PodJam, check it out. https://mercage.screamelements.com/mrg_live.
All right, since we're playing copyrighted music, after this song for OT, shout out to OT, we're gonna play one of my favorite musician from Nebraska.
Help Mr.G with the
Believe it or not, Nebraska has a musician that I like.
Are you from Nebraska?
No, I'm not from Nebraska. I do every state. Today's state's Nebraska. Tomorrow's state's Colorado. Tomorrow's class might be starting a little earlier too. Whoa, thank you, OT, with the 200, thank you. You hear that, neighbors? Look at me now, Ma. turn this down just a tad bit. Okay, so this song's talking about miles and a trip. The two largest cities in the state of Nebraska are Lincoln, which is the capital of Nebraska, and Omaha, Nebraska. And they're only separated by a small length of 50 miles. If you look at the corner of the map I have here on the screen, and you see the star in the southeast corner, does everybody see that? Does everybody see the star? Shoshan, Cody? Everybody see the star? Okay, let me turn this up. Alright. So, Lincoln, the population is 287,000, which would make it a large city. The population of Omaha is even larger, at 462,000. So close to 500,000. Alright, they're only separated by 50-something miles between the two cities. So, I mean, they're not necessarily the twin cities, but they're the two largest cities in the state of Nebraska, and they're right there in the corner. Does everybody see that?
What about Mozart, Lechmachai March, Canon in B flat for 6 voices, K231/K382C. Stream elements. Set.
Hey Google.
New merch is here. PogChamp. Check
Play
it out.
Flight of the Valkyrie.
https://merkh.streamelements.com/mrg_live.
I have to set up the other, whatever that is.
Flight of the Valkyrie is a good song for when someone questions Mr. G's intelligence or when old timer pees. O_T_.
That was good when Old Timer Feed did that
Set.
song.
Point on the map where Britain is.
Britain is there. See? Right there. I'm over here. Britain's over here. Everybody see that? I'll give you a close one. So, students, this is the United States. This is California. This is New York. This is Hawaii. Britain is right here.
Is he okay?
I don't think he's ever been okay. I mean, as far as I don't know if that word means something different to you than it does to me. But Britain is not okay. He's never been.
You can send Mr. G, Moses, and Keanu
You guys
back
never-
to Hawaii 96823.
Let's go ahead and let's go.
_T__.
Let's see what states that we've covered so
Is he
far.
alive?
I'd say 50%. I'd say 70% yes, 30% no. I shouldn't really be joking about that. I'm not joking. I'd say there's a chance. You know Britain. I mean, if you're asking about him, then you're aware of what kind of person he is, and he lives a risky lifestyle. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's in jail or a hospital or a numerous amount of places. So on to the lesson here. These were the states that we've covered so far. We've covered Arizona. First, I'll just square them off. We've covered Nevada. We've covered Idaho, an oddly shaped state. Utah, Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota. Sorry about that, South Dakota.
_T___. Said. Okay, I didn't know if you were in contact. Wish
Well-
the best for him.
Well, let's try to call him. We'll try to call him in a second. How about that? And now we're doing Nebraska.
Cody 8804. Said. Sorry, the song is called Ride of the Valkyries. It would go great for when the haters question your intelligence or when the neighbors make you mad.
Tomorrow we're going to be doing Colorado. Monday we're going to start with New Mexico. And then we're going to go and keep going west. We'll do Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas City. And then we'll go up to Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, then Mississippi, and then Ohio, or Mississippi, then Illinois, and then Wisconsin. Then all these states. So we got a lot more states to go. Let's color in what we've done. I'll get a nicer color. We'll try to get through all the states within the next few weeks, really. We've been going through about one state a day, sometimes two.
Type it.
The worst state is Delaware.
Help Mr.G with the donation through.
Alright, I guess we haven't done as much as it feels like. I mean, we've only done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 states. That's all we've done? Shit. Seems like we've done more.
Magic. Said. Gonna take over month at that rate.
Well, it's going to take about 6 weeks.
Stream elements.
So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess we've just been taking a long time on each state.
streamelements.com/MRG_live. Expo Coin Magic. Said. Which I'm fine with.
Well, let's continue with Nebraska here today. Hey Google, play.
Okay, asking Pandora to play some music.
Never mind. Hey Google, pause yourself. Brace
According to
yourself.
Google Books, feeling overwhelmed, burned out, or stuck, discover the power
Hey
of the
Google,
pause.
shut the fuck up. Thank you. That's not what I want. Okay. Oh. Okay, now where were we? Nebraska. The best state in the whole fucking world. Their state's flag is just unbelievable. It's just so awesome. They got the best state flag ever. Get this, guys. You guys are gonna be amazed. This state flag, when I first saw this, I was just like, if that's not art, then I don't know what is. Look at that. That's a look at that. It's blue. You know? It's got some images on there. Looks like those images are yellow. So blue and yellow. Wow. Fancy stuff.
Said. Who was the Nebraskan musician you like? Shoshans_new_alt.
Bright Eyes.
Said. MRG, can you please play my favorite Mozart song, Let Mich I March? Cody 8804. Said. Illuminati images.
Well, let me answer the first question. What's my favorite musician from Nebraska? And that would be, boom, Bright Eyes. So let's listen to this is a song by Bright Eyes.
I've discovered a leader from my own tribe, a woman who lived over 100 years ago. Suzette LaFlèche was the first Native
Fucking
woman
A.
to speak to national audiences about Indian rights.
So I think Bright Eyes got his name, the
Cody
band name.
8804. Said. The current best boxer in the world is from Omaha, Nebraska. Terrence Crawford.
Oh, okay. Terrence Crawford. I didn't know that. Well, you know who else is from Omaha, Nebraska? Is Warren Buffett, right? So this is we're listening to Bright Eyes right here. This is a personal favorite of mine.
Extopoi magic. Zip. That's a weird way to spell Tyson Fury. Extopoi magic. Zip. Kappa. Cody 8804. Zip. Yes, Warren LePay goes to Terrence Crawford Bucks.
Yeah, Warren Buffett. The one of the richest people in the world is from Nebraska. So, to answer your question, that is my favorite musician from Nebraska. Bright Eyes is the name of his band. Now, on to Warren Buffett
You
here.
can send Mr.G, Moses, and
Hey, Google.
packages to 1117.
Who is Warren Buffett?
New Box 37305.
According to Wikipedia, Warren Edward Buffett is an American investor, business tycoon, philanthropist, and the chairman and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway.
Is so cheap
He is considered one of the most successful investors in the world and has a net worth of over $78.9 billion United States dollars as of August 2020, making him the world's fourth wealthiest person.
Check it out.
Oh, okay. So he's the fourth wealthiest person in the world. Did you hear how much money he had? Hey Google, how much money does Warren Buffett have?
He's so cheap he
The net worth of Warren Buffett is $86,500 million.
$86 billion. Okay, class. If a person has $1 billion, that means that they can spend $200,000 every day for 120 years and still have money left over. That's only if they have $1 billion. Can you guys spend that much money in a day? $200,000? Can you spend that much money in a day? And also, can you spend that money every day for 120 years? No, you can't. Look, Warren Buffett, nobody really says any bad things about him, but anybody that has that kind of money and just tries to make more money is a fucking buffoon. Is an idiot.
I'd invest it.
You know what I would do?
Extopoi magic. JK.
There's thousands of starving cats on the sidewalk.
$86 billion and he's on television in the nosebleeds, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy.
If I had 1%, a 1% of 1% that much money,
guess that's how you get rich.
Then I could solve the CAT problem on the island of Hawaii and the whole state of Hawaii.
I guess I'm not cool enough like OT to make song requests.
Alright, this one's for you, Shoshin.
Extopoi magic. Said. He lives relatively humbly for the amount of money he has. MRG, I wanted Mozart's classic Lickman.
Okay, continuing with the lesson. So, Mr. Buffett here is one of the world's richest people. He has $86 billion. Like I said, if I had one of those billions, I could
help Mr. G with the
solve
donation through
cat
Stream Elements.
homelessness in the whole state of Hawaii for 200 years, maybe the whole country. So I don't know. I can't understand that type of mentality. If you know about me, I have the opposite of whatever. You know, somebody said something about him sitting in the nosebleed sections after having that much money. Like, I don't know. Like, it's like these people think that they can take the money to their grave. Maybe they can. I don't know. But regardless of the facts.
_new_alt. Said. Buffet so rich he could serve the war of buffet and still have too much money. Joshans_new_alt. Said. World asterisk.
So one thing Warren Buffett is, he is a big Nebraska Cornhusker fan, which also, you know, adds to his stupidity. I mean, he can't be that smart if he eats at McDonald's every day and he watches the football, 3.5, 4 hour long football game every Saturday. I mean, you know, people say he's the shit, but I don't know. I don't really think he is. Like, does he get to have sex with these cheerleaders? I mean, if I had $86 billion, believe me, I would be having sex with these cheerleaders. I wouldn't be watching a fucking football game. I would either be having sex with these cheerleaders or females that look exactly like them. If I had $86 billion. If I had $85 billion, it would be a different story. I'm also kidding. Don't take what I say serious. You know, I'm sure Mr. Buffett here is a great guy, and he's not to be fucked with. Moving on. So Nebraska is what you would call a landlocked country. So as you can see on the screen here, Nebraska is a landlocked country. And it's as pretty much landlocked as you can get. The area in the dark blue is not landlocked. The area in the light blue is landlocked. The area in the yellow is more landlocked. And the red Nebraska is the most landlocked place you can get in the United States. So, now there's actually a song by Bright Eyes called Landlocked Blues that I just remembered. So, in honor of my favorite musician from Nebraska, and it being a landlocked state, we will listen to a portion of Landlocked Blues.
If you walk away, I'll walk away. First tell me which road you will take. I don't wanna risk our paths crossing someday. So you walk that way, I'll walk this way. And the future hangs over our heads, and it moves with each current event, until it falls all around like a cold, steady rain, just staying when it's looking this way. And the moon's laying low in the sky,
you can send
forcing everything metal
packages to 1170 Nuwanu Avenue, PO Box
and the sidewalk holds diamonds like a jewelry store case. They argue, walk this way, no, walk this way. And Laura's asleep in my bed. As I'm leaving, she wakes up and says, I dreamed you were carried away.
Okay, so that's Bright Eyes with Landlocked Blues. He's got a little country sound going there with like alternative music. On the screen here, the image here we see is Nebraska being extremely landlocked. So that's actually where I learned a little bit about Nebraska. 12, 13 years ago when I bought this album here, and I looked into the band and I heard this song Landlocked Blues, and I figured, you know, he must be you know, writing it about Nebraska being such a landlocked state. Continuing. Any questions? So, Nebraska is a landlocked state, and you know what likes land, open spaces, is tornadoes and thunderstorms. So one thing Nebraska has a lot of are tornadoes. And these tornadoes, you know, it's like sometimes people think they have a mind of their own, because it's like they will, excuse me, they'll show up where they have room to cause ruckus. Once a tornado showed up in New York City, once a tornado showed up in Miami, but somewhere like Nebraska, they receive tornadoes like crazy. They receive tornadoes like an immense amount of tornadoes. If you look on the bar graph that I have on the screen here, you can see this area represents the number of tornadoes spotted in Nebraska. And you can see during the months of April, May, June, July, during the spring months, where you have lots of thunderstorms, you also have an incredible amount of tornadoes in the Nebraska area. You know, a lot of people, you know, they wonder why anybody would live in such an environment. But you know, like I said, anywhere you go, there's natural disasters of some sort. So even if you're out in the middle of nowhere, then you still have to worry about something like massive tornadoes. Now, moving on to something lighter fare than tornadoes. I don't have the statistics on the number of deaths in tornadoes, but we'll talk a little bit more about the geography. The state of Nebraska was actually once considered America's desert. The previous states that we've learned about, Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, North Dakota, and South Dakota, they all received statehood later on, after the Homestead Act was passed in the 1860s. The Homestead Act, which was passed by Abraham Lincoln initially. There were additions added on to the Homestead Act, but it initially was passed by Abraham Lincoln because he wanted you know, more states in the Union that supported the Union. Nebraska actually gained its statehood earlier on in, like, I believe, like the 1850s or 1860s. Yeah, the 1860s. Hey Google, when did Nebraska gain statehood?
Nebraska was granted statehood on the 1st of March, 1867.
So 1867, Nebraska was granted statehood. Now, Nebraska, during this time, they actually had a lot of Confederate soldiers and a lot of people that sided with the Confederacy. This is basically where the United States, Nebraska territory was even before it became a state. So it's known as America's desert. It's not all desert. You know, in the western part of Nebraska and closer to Colorado, you have, you know, grass-covered sand hills. You have a peak, the highest point in Nebraska. I believe it's in the Rocky Mountains on the border with Colorado. The name slips my memory at the moment. But anyways, it's about 4,000 feet. The majority of Nebraska is flat, and it is dry as well. But like I said, it's been around longer, and they do have waterways like the Missouri River and the Platte River. And they do have more population. You know, if you look at the other states that we covered, Montana, Idaho, South Dakota, North Dakota, Nebraska, having only 2 million people, is the largest, most populous state of all those states, and that's because it's further south It's in the Midwest, but it's further south. The states that it borders is South Dakota on its north, Iowa, and Montana. Also Colorado, like I said. So, on to some lighter fare. Some of the we talked about Omaha steaks. One thing that Nebraska is known for is the Reuben sandwich. You would think that that would be something that was, created on the East Coast, but the Reuben sandwich was actually it was invented in Omaha, Nebraska. And the Reuben, it's an interesting sandwich. This is gonna make me hungry, but I don't really like rye bread. I had an interesting sandwich. I had a green bean casserole sandwich today, and that was pretty good. But the Reuben sandwich, it's it's something that's like something that's pretty good. I mean, I was surprised to learn that it was there that it came up with. Something else that Nebraska is known for is the cheese Frenchie. Now, the cheese Frenchie, it is what it sounds like. It's a deep fried French cheese, or deep fried cheese sandwich. What are those called? A fried cheese sandwich? Grilled cheese sandwich. It's a deep fried grilled cheese sandwich. So, I mean, I've never had that, but that's something that I would like. So, I mean, that looks really good. Doesn't that look good? Alright, the last food.
Stove boy magic. Said. Fried cheese sandwich LOL.
Yeah, that's one of that's what they're known for. It's one of their delicacies there. And we already talked about Omaha steaks. One thing.
Stove boy magic. Said. Sounds like something I'd make if I was fried.
One thing that Nebraska's known for is they're the ones that invented Kool-Aid, believe it or not. And Kool-Aid is an invention that started in Nebraska. Kind of like how Florida invented Gatorade. But I guess we'll cover that during the Florida lesson. But yeah, Kool-Aid started off as a local thing in there in Nebraska. It was actually a flavor, they used it in ice cream too. And it was because they couldn't ship soft drinks as easily because for some reason the bottles kept breaking or something like that. And so they came up with this powdered mix, and they've been using it ever since. Now, the state capital, well, let's just go ahead and go back to so, so more about Nebraska. Well, the Nebraska forest is the largest self-planted forest in the United States. It's 141,000 acres. Nebraska's name comes from the Oto Indian word for bridge, meaning flat water. There's a National Museum of Roller Skating in fucking Nebraska. So what? So this is the Nebraska state bird and state flower right here. Now the state bird is, if you're guessing, it's the western meadowlark. just like every fucking state. And then the state flower is the solo doggo. That's right, the solo doggo. Here's a better picture of the solo doggo. Now, as you've noticed, I've been messing with all the different tools that I have here. But this is Nebraska, and Nebraska's nickname is the Cornhusker State. But that's not a cornhusker. That's the state flower, the Madagascar, right? No, the solo doggo. The solo doggo. The solo doggo is the state flower, and that's Nebraska. Nebraska does produce a lot of corn. But actually they produce more livestock. Nebraska is second in the United States in the number of livestock produced, only behind the state of Texas. Corn, they are third, behind Iowa and one other state, I think Kansas. But they're third in corn production. So Nebraska is second in livestock, slaughtering cows and pigs, and they're third in corn production in the United States. Hey Google, play Beethoven.
Playing Ludwig van Beethoven on Pandora.
Hey Google, turn it down. One thing about Nebraska, hey Google, turn it down. Hey Google, turn it down. One thing about Nebraska, especially the area of Lincoln and Omaha, is they have a really high crime rate. And Nebraska is a Republican state, they're a gun-friendly state, but they also do have a high crime rate, especially per capita. Many Nebraskans carry guns, and in a recent survey, 25% of Nebraskans actually believe that they'll be the victim of a crime or a robbery in particular.
Countryman. A-I-M-R-G. Sorry I'm late. Hope
Hey,
you and
countryman.
Jayvon had a good day. Good to see you, Lip.
Thank you, countryman. So, yeah, 25% of Nebraskans. Hey, Google, turn it down. They fear that they're going to be the victim of a crime. And I thought that was a statistic that stood out to me, you know, because, you know, it says such a small population. Here's another thing that's popular in Nebraska, and that is gonorrhea. Yes, you heard me correctly, gonorrhea. So, gonorrhea is a very common disease in Nebraska. It's a sexually transmitted disease, an STDs. Anyone who is sexually active can get gonorrhea. It is more common among teens and young adults. Many people who have gonorrhea don't even know it. Especially in women, the disease often have no symptoms. You can pass gonorrhea to others without knowing it as well. Gonorrhea can be cured with the right treatment. You can also, it doesn't say on here, but you can also catch gonorrhea from a toilet seat. So, class, when you think about gonorrhea, you gotta think about Nebraska. Gonorrhea, Nebraska. Right? Right? I mean, come on. Hey Google, turn it down. No, seriously guys, gonorrhea is nothing to joke about, and it's a serious problem in a landlocked state like Nebraska. The majority of Americans, they don't go within a 50-mile radius of where they were born. So if you were born in Nebraska and you have gonorrhea, you're probably always going to be in Nebraska and you're always going to have gonorrhea. Because I don't think there's even a cure for gonorrhea. I don't have gonorrhea. You know, you're like, why is he talking about gonorrhea so much? Does he have gonorrhea? No. I just found it interesting that Nebraska, like, leads the nation in gonorrhea. You know, it's like, why do they have so much gonorrhea there? Is it in the water or something? Alright, anyways. Okay, fix that problem. So, any questions about gonorrhea, Nebraska, anything? Mr. G, what do you want to know? No, continuing with the lesson about Nebraska, they do have a high rate of gonorrhea. Something they also have there is the College World Series. Every year in the great city of Omaha, they have the College fucking World Series. La-dee-da. If that doesn't get you excited, nothing will. I actually used to watch the College World Series. I'm not proud of it. Baseball games are like 3.5, 4 hours. What was the fucking point? Got me. But yeah, the College World Series is held every year in Omaha, which is the largest city in Nebraska of 462,000. I didn't look that up, but I'm assuming if there's 462,000, there's no other city larger than that in Nebraska. I would have heard of it. Anyways, one of the reasons Omaha is such a large city is because it's right there on the border of Iowa. So, Iowa, they grow more corn than Nebraska. But anyways, it's right there on the border of Iowa, as you can see on the map here. And you know, the reason that there's so much people there, the reason it's such a big city is because I hope I didn't leave the ice cream out. Anyways, I don't think I did. But the reason it's such a big city is because it's right there on the border. The majority of the whole state lives in that area right there. There's about 1 million people just in that area, in that corner where the state capital of Lincoln is. And you know, it's funny. Oh. The state capital is named Lincoln, but but like I said, when they named it that, they were a largely Confederate state, and the reason they named it that is because the capital was originally on the other part of the state, and so they changed the name of a particular city to Lincoln right before the vote to move the state capital. Because they figured the majority of the people that supported the Confederacy would not vote to move the capital to a city named Lincoln, who was their arch nemesis during the Civil War. That gamble didn't pay off, and the residents voted to move the state capital to its present day of Lincoln, Nebraska. Now, to continue with the story, watching the security camera. To continue with the story there, I need to know the original name of the town, and I don't have that on the top of my head. So, hey Google, what was Lincoln, Nebraska originally called?
According to Wikipedia, Lincoln was founded in 1856 as the village of Lancaster and became the county seat of the newly created Lancaster County in 1859. The village was sited on the east bank of Salt Creek.
So, Lincoln, Nebraska was originally Lancaster, Nebraska. The reason the name was changed was because they were talking about moving the state capital from western Nebraska to eastern Nebraska. When the individuals that did not want the state capital moved to Lancaster decided to change their name to Lincoln, Nebraska, thinking that the majority of the people would not want their state capital in a city named after Lincoln. And like I said, the bet did not pay off, and that's where the capital lies today. So we've learned a lot about Nebraska. We got a little bit more time here, so do we have any questions? Any questions on Nebraska? No? Okay, well, I'll just start talking about other shit. So one thing in Nebraska is, well, let's look at this slide here. Well, let's check out this slide here. So Nebraska. The state fish is the channel catfish. The state flower is the goldenrod. The state fossil is the mammoth. The state gem is the blue agate. The state grass is a little blue stem. The state insect is the honeybee. The state motto is equality before the law. The state rock is the prairie agate. The state song is beautiful Nebraska. And the state tree is the motherfucking cottonwood. Now, another thing that Nebraska has that's in Omaha is one of the nation's top zoos. Yes, that's right. It's called the Henry Dorley Zoo. And it has this dome-like structure reminiscent of Epcot Center, right? And that's located in Omaha, in the Omaha-Lincoln, it's in Omaha.
True man. Said. Omaha has its own voting district too, split vote state.
That's true. And also, Nebraska's this is the state capitol building in Nebraska. They actually have a nice state capitol, and they're the only ones that don't have a House of Representatives. You know, every other state, all other 49 states, they have a House and a Senate. Nebraska only has a Senate as well. So this is an image of the beautiful state capitol. It's not beautiful, but it's better than any other state capitol. It's kind of similar to the University of Texas Tower in Austin, Texas. But we'll just keep that up there. And look at my beautiful mug. So, shout out to everybody watching this on YouTube. Shout out to anybody in Nebraska watching this. Put something in the comments on YouTube here if you want to say something about Nebraska, if I said something, if I misspoke on something. What else? Like I said, there's a lot of agriculture there as far as livestock goes and corn production. There's lots of thunderstorms and tornadoes. You know, quick science fact, the reason there's so many thunderstorms and tornadoes there, well, tornadoes seem to like wide open spaces, like I mentioned, but also that's where, let me show on the map, let me put up a map. That's where the warm air from Mexico comes up and meets the cold air from Canada, as you can see on the map right here. And then where do they meet up? They meet up right up in the mid-states right there in Kansas and Nebraska. And where do tornadoes like to go? They like a lot of wide open spaces, like right up in that area. So I guess it's a coincidence, but it's also a perfect storm, pun not intended. But so you have a wide area, and then you have all the warm area. The warm air from the Gulf of Mexico meets the cold air from Canada, and they create little swirly swirls right there in the middle of the country. So as you can see on the map better, warm air comes from Mexico, cold air comes from Canada, and where do they meet? Right there in Nebraska, and in other places right there. That's Tornado Alley. That's why they call it Tornado Alley. Right up there, North Texas, Oklahoma, Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota. That's Tornado Alley, right through the middle of the country. So now you guys know where Tornado Alley is. That for me. So, we've learned a little bit about Nebraska. University of Nebraska is usually one of the top football teams in the United States.
Countryman said, makes me wonder why New York City, being 8.5 million people in itself, and the entire state being 10.5, does not make it a voting district in itself.
Yeah, that's interesting, huh? You know, New York City, 8.5 million people, and the state's 10 million. New York State, New York City, I don't think that's anywhere I'm ever going to go. So, Nebraska has 4 electoral votes. You know, that's more than some states. That's more than Montana. That's more than South Dakota. That's more than North Dakota. It's more than the other states that we've covered so far. Like I said, the Lincoln and Omaha area is the major metropolitan area of Nebraska and anywhere in that vicinity. It's off of I-80. The majority of the entire state lives off of the freeway I-80, which runs west to east.
Said, NYC is 19 million. 8.5 is in the city, 10.5 is in upstate. Countryman said, New York State.
Oh, okay.
Said, LOL, my bad, I'm hot.
Oh, it's okay. Thanks for clarifying that, though. Because I was thinking about that. I was like, what? Like, there's only 2 million in New York State? I mean, I knew it was barren. Some of the cheapest houses in the United States are in New York State. Some of the most dangerous places to live are in New York State. We won't go into that. We're studying Nebraska today. New York is going to be one of the last states that we go over, and I'll talk about my disdain at that point. As far as Nebraska goes, they're in the Great Plains, the Midwest.
Mr.G with the donation through Stream Elements.
They're known to have sand hills.
StreamElements.com/MRG.
I think we mentioned the Platte River. The Missouri River makes the border of South Dakota, Iowa.
New Jersey, you gotta go over New Jersey.
And Missouri. Yes, we're going west to east. So, hey, is that Jersey in the chat? We're going west to east Jersey. So, yeah, we'll definitely hit up New Jersey. But, yeah. So, Nebraska's known, it used to be known as America's desert. However, that was before South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, Idaho became states. Now that's the least populated area. Nebraska, there was always some controversy on whether it was a slave state or a free state. It became a state in 1867. I believe shortly after. Hey Google, what years did the Civil War take place?
Mr.G, Moses, and Keanu packages to 1170.
On the website battlefields.org, they said, fact number 1, the Civil War was fought between the northern and the southern states from 1861 to 1865.
So yeah, 1865, the Civil War ended. 2 years after the Civil War, Nebraska becomes a state.
Countryman said, Northwest Nebraska has the country's largest artificially planted forest, and also has Toadstool Geographical Park, a place that looks like Mars.
Interesting. Yes, they have the largest planted forest. That's correct. I have a slide about that. I can't get to it right now because Peach is pretty Peach. Oh, you have good breath. I like your kitty breath. You yawning?
Tree man. Said. I studied on that law, it's interesting.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting. You know, they say we could solve climate damage just by planting
The dude who planted
trees.
them was one rich, powerful guy.
So as Countryman was saying, the Nebraska National Forest is the largest man-made forest, covering about 141,159 acres of land. Nebraska's name comes from the Oto Indian word Nebraska, meaning flat water. There is a National Museum of Roller Skating in Lincoln. Interesting. Now, a couple other facts about Nebraska. We saw the facts about gonorrhea. But let's learn a little bit more about the name Nebraska. So the name Nebraska was from a Native American phrase that meant flat water, referring to the state's Platte
Dream Elements.
River.
10. The new merch is here, PogJam, check it out. https://mercage.screamelements.com/mrg_live.
Alright, as you can see the map of Nebraska here, all the major cities are right there on the east. Nebraska City, Lincoln, and Omaha. Like I said, the two, and Columbus isn't far from there either. The two largest cities of Lincoln and Omaha are only separated by 50 miles. Omaha is on the Iowa border as well. And as you can see, you know, South Dakota, Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, you know, Nebraska is probably the most landlocked state that you can find. The University of Nebraska, that's in Lincoln, and that has a student population of 26,000, which, you know, is a large school. That's a huge school, really. Nebraska does not have any professional sports teams, so, you know, the only professional sports team, the University of Nebraska is essentially their only sports team. And yeah, similar to Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas is the largest city in the United States that doesn't have a professional sports team. So the University of Texas, the Longhorns, are its, what's the word? Or it's where you're a part, like you're a temporary parent, you're a, can't think of the word, you're a, I'm not that relaxed today. You're a temporary foster parent, so anyways, the University of Texas is the main, it's a university, but they act like it's a professional sports team in Austin. They sell University of Texas t-shirts, University of Texas shirts. Everybody acts like it's the pro team. You know, when you do the sports coverage, they're talking about the pro sports. They're not, instead of local sports is all college sports. Similar to University of Hawaii, there's no professional sports teams in Hawaii. So what do? They make the University of Hawaii the pro bono sports team. So that's similar to Nebraska as well as Austin, Texas, and Hawaii. Nebraska, they make the University of Nebraska, the Cornhuskers, as their sports team. So if you're ever in Nebraska on a Saturday afternoon, and the one thing everybody's talking about is Nebraska football, Cornhuskers football. And they usually always have a really good football team. They were in the same division as the University of Texas when I went to school there. And they played each other a lot. They played a memorable overtime game on Thanksgiving, I remember. But yeah, you know, you see that a lot in smaller states, and we'll see that once we get to the southern states. where they don't have a professional sports team, so their college team becomes the de facto pro sports team. That's the expression I was looking for. The de facto pro team. So you look at the state of Alabama. There's no pro team in Alabama.
Like Oklahoma Panhandle, Nebraska has something called food deserts, which means some towns and people in them have to drive 45 minutes or more to reach the nearest grocery store.
Oh yeah, I have heard that. Yeah, food deserts where you have to go like 45 minutes just to get to the closest grocery store. I have heard of that. So yeah, Nebraska and other states they don't have. But continuing with the pro sports team and the universities, states like South Carolina, there's not a professional team, so the University of South Carolina becomes a de facto pro team. Another state would be Oklahoma. Oh, they have Oklahoma City, but the Oklahoma City Thunder, before the basketball team there wasn't a professional team. Hey, Peaches. And you see that with many other smaller states. When they don't have a pro team, then their college team becomes the pro team. Yesterday we studied North Dakota, and North Dakota State football is the main football thing up there. So I'm not promoting sports. I used to watch sports. Now I promote not watching sports, really. However, sports is something that people do have in common, and I will maybe occasionally watch a championship game in the future or something like that. Right now I'm concentrating on building this classroom and accomplishing other things with my garden, my farm, and my cat sanctuary, all of which I have, I plan to have operational within the next 6 to 8 months. So I'm doing that now, but I don't have time to watch sports. But Cody is a big fan of fighting. I did watch the Mike Tyson fight, most of it, not too long ago, about a week or so ago. I think it was last Saturday. But if I'm ever in Nebraska and I want to make small talk with the locals at a diner, I'm not gonna be talking politics. I'm gonna be talking about Nebraska football, because that's what you do. And I found that over and over in life, if you have a wide variety of interest and knowledge about different subjects, it becomes advantageous when you're talking to a wide variety of people. And I was a salesman for 4 years door to door, then 3 years over the phone, a bunch of other times in life. So I can tell you, having a wide variety of knowledge about a wide variety of subjects really becomes an advantage to you, because you never know some of the people that you're going to have to work with in life. Granted, things are different now, but you do still have to work with other people, whether it's online or in person, and that's something that's not going to change. We all are going to have to continue to get along with people that we may
_time.
Not see same.
Is this live?
Yes, this is live. You see, this is my kitty. Her name is Peach Zion, so you stay away from her. She's a princess. I love you.
Countryman said, the UFC on Saturday is supposed to be good. Hermanson versus Federer. You gotta watch it. Xenon _time.
You smell good.
Said,
You
I
smell
liked the extreme
good.
yesterday better.
You smell good. You smell good.
Angley _sandwich _no _buns. Said, hi.
You smell good. I like you a lot. Alright. So guys, I think we covered just about everything about Nebraska. Do we have any questions? Any comments? We have a lot of states to get over, so we're basically just doing one state at a time. We learned about Warren Buffett, how he likes cheerleaders. We learned
Countryman said,
how Nebraska has... South Dakota in the
Angry
north,
underscore
and
sandwich
Kansas
underscore
in
no
the,
underscore buns.
in the south.
Tip. Garn, I always show up too late. Countryman. Tip. Ever hear of Love's?
Yeah, I've heard of it. That's a grocery store, right? We learned that 25% of Nebraskans think that they're going to be a victim of a crime. We learned that, Warren Buffett likes cheerleaders. Pump it, pump it.
Countryman. Tip. Very popular truck stops and gas stations.
We learned not to fuck with Warren Buffett. Right? We learned about Nebraska having a lot of tornadoes.
Underscore buns. Tip. Blonde women look like creepy aliens.
We learned that blonde women look like creepy aliens.
Still imagine. Tip. He'll be watching UFC. Exto imagine.
We learned that
I watch them all.
it's a landlocked state. It's very landlocked. Nebraska is very landlocked.
Dream elements. Tip.
We learned it used to be called the Great American Desert.
The
Great American Desert.
Streamelements.com/mrg_live.
We learned that people in Nebraska, they like to eat something called cheesy Frenchies, which is a deep fried grilled cheese. That sounds good.
_sandwich_no_bun.
Speaking of sandwich,
Do you miss Texas University?
no, I don't miss University of Texas or Texas University. I don't miss Texas at all. But I would like a cheesy Frenchie. Too bad Frenchie isn't watching. We also learned that the Reuben is the Omaha, Nebraska is the birthplace of the Reuben. Can you believe that? We also learned that Omaha Steaks originates in Omaha. They don't deliver to Hawaii though. So Omaha Steaks, what else did we learn? Well, we learned that the College World Series is also in Omaha, similar to Omaha Steaks. What else did we learn? There's something else in Omaha. Isn't there some sort of tourist destination? Yeah, Mr.G. The Henry Dual Zoo is also in
I know a
Omaha.
French guy who writes cheesy poetry. Want me to give him a call? You're his type.
Henry Doyle Zoo.
You can send Mr. G, Moses, and Keanu packages to 1170 Nuuanu Avenue, P.O. Box 37305,
Now.
Honolulu, Hawaii 96823.
The state flower of Nebraska is the Solo Dago. Did you guys hear that? The Solo Dago. Say that with me. Solo Dago. So that's a better image of it right there.
Engley_sandwich_no_buns. Tip. Looks like a weed.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I mean, they have that horrible state flour. I mean, and a lot of people would get it mixed up with the corn husk because it looks like corn husk. You know, Keanu and Peach, I brought them out to the garden today, and they were both eating the corn husk. They were like dinosaurs. They were both like chomping like dinosaurs. So first Keanu was doing it, and then Peach was like learning from him and like watching, and Keanu was like this, Peach. Like, and they were just munching all the veggies, all the corn. They're like, and then Pete's like, oh, okay. And then they both started like munching all the veggies, and it was so cute. They were both like chomping, like we're chomping goodies. You know? They were so cute. Anyways, so yeah, that's not a corn husk. That's the flower, the state flower, the Solo Dago. They got the worst state flower, and their state bird is the western meadowlark. which isn't very, like 10 other states have
Angley underscore sandwich
the western
underscore no underscore
meadowlark
buns.
as a state bird. So
Yum ticks are tasty and full of protein.
So the western meadowlark, that's nothing new. We've been covering the western meadowlark. I think Wyoming, western meadowlark, Montana, western meadowlark, South Dakota, western meadowlark. I don't know why everybody loves this freaking bird so much, but it seems like every state, they have the western meadowlark as their bird. Here's an image of the western meadowlark with the state flower, the solidago. So this is the Nebraska state bird and the Nebraska state flower together here. Isn't that sweet? Now, we learned the state flag of Nebraska, which I have right here. It's not that nice. It's kind of boring. It's blue and yellow. It's got some weird images on there.
I could to help Mr.G with a donation through
Like,
Stream
what does it even
Elements.
say?
https://
Seal of the State of Nebraska, March 1st, 1867. Equality
underscore sandwich
before
underscore
the
buns.
land.
Said. That's a pretty bird. He looks like a Greg. I'm gonna call him Greg the Bird. Stream Elements. Said. The new merch is here. PogChamp, check it out. https://
So yeah, their state flag isn't much to write home about, right?
/MRG_live.
I mean, seriously, it's not that nice. I mean, I'm not an artist, but you know, like, it's not that great as far as state flags go, right? I don't know, that's just my opinion. I mean, we're going over each of the state flags and stuff, and I'm sorry if you're from Nebraska, but come on, man, your flag's the worst one I've seen, and I'm unbiased. I don't have anything against you compared to Montana or Wyoming or South Dakota or North Dakota. I dislike each of them the
I
same.
thought you were an artist.
No, my twin brother is an artist. Well, I'm a different kind of artist. I'm not a visual artist. I'm a mental artist.
Angley underscore sandwich underscore no underscore buns. Said. Let's see you make a flag.
I'll run your ass up a flagpole if you're not careful. You know, back in the 20s, one of the favorite pastimes was flagpole sitting. Yes, you heard me correctly. Flagpole sitting. People would climb to the top of flagpoles, and guess what? They would sit there. They would just sit there. And it's called flagpole sitting. It was a question on Jeopardy, actually.
Angley underscore sandwich underscore no underscore buns. Said. Are you a fellow flagger?
No, I'm not. I don't like flags. We're going over each state's flag, and I don't like many of them. This is Nebraska's flag. Anyways, we're doing a wrap-up of everything that we learned today, Sandwich. Class starts earlier in the day. Once again, I'm going to upload this VOD onto YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, shout out. You know, follow me on Twitch, watch the live stream every day, Monday through Friday at least, on Twitch. Alright, moving on. So we don't like the flag, or at least I don't. We learned a lot about
sandwich underscore no underscore
the states, including they're the founders of Kool-Aid.
Have dragons, unicorns, and guns.
They're the first ones to have Kool-Aid, and that was because for a transportation issue. Alright, I think that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation of the great state of Nebraska. And we'll go ahead and end on the Nebraska state song, which I like to do. So we'll end the state song. If you're not following me on my new Instagram, I know we have a few hundred people watching here. So out of you, a couple hundred people, whoever's not following me on my new Instagram, follow me there. And also, you know, tell one person about my stream. I put a lot into this, I really do. So the haters, like, and that's why I like Twitch, because there's way less haters on it. There's less viewers, but there's way less haters too. When I put a lot of effort into something like this, the last thing I want is, you know, some piece of shits from 2 years ago, you know, making up, saying lies about me or in the chat or something like that. I don't need any of that hate. I'm trying to do something constructive. I'm offering a service. Yeah, I'm a little different than I was 2 years ago. But 2 years ago, you know, I charged $50 an hour for tutoring regular students, for tutoring gifted children. I was paid anywhere from $25 an hour to $50 an hour. If you're watching me now, you're not paying that. You're getting this for free. So that's why I'm saying I'm offering a service. You know, tell one person about it, or show up again Monday through Friday. We're going to have a class. We're going to go through every state. Once we're done with every state, we're start on every country. Yes, you heard me correctly. Every country. We're also going to be starting earlier in the day, so whatever time it is now where you're at. I'm in Hawaii, but
Mr.G.
wherever you're at, we're going to be starting a few hours earlier than it is now. Also, thank you for everybody that showed up today to class. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And once again, shout out to everybody on YouTube. We'll have class again tomorrow. Tomorrow's state is Colorado, and I have a wonderful lecture planned for that. Colorado is going to be the most populous state that we've covered so far. So you want to check out that. We're definitely going to talk about Denver, Colorado. We're going to talk about mushrooms. We're going to talk about marijuana.
Question, teacher man, I demand a response.
What was your question? I am still a real teacher. I work every day as a tutor as well. If you haven't known, if you didn't know, the schools are closed right now. So there's no teaching going on. All teaching is done through distance learning. So no, I don't think about 2 years ago. And I was already answering your question then. But you know, I just don't get a good vibe from you, Gangling Sandwich Bun. And you made your account 15 minutes ago, so go ahead and have a nice life. But I was obviously right about you. But hey, dude, go watch Ice Poseidon, bro, because this isn't for you if you're talking about me being a teacher 2 years ago. All right, kid? So thanks again, everybody. OT, thank you for the donation. That's funny how I was answering that kid's question before even reading his question, just because I could sense it because I'm fucking on the ball.
Boneless Pizza AV5 said, Webster.
So, yeah, you don't want to fuck with Mr.G, totally. I still actually work as a tutor online, and I also work as a security guard too. But anyways, that's none of your business, kid. We're never gonna know each other or be friends. What I'm doing now is I'm providing a service on Twitch. I teach a class every day for free on Twitch. This same education, like I said, I used to charge $25 or $50 an hour. I was also a public high school teacher for about 2 years, and it's something that I'm really good at. It's something I enjoy doing. I'm sorry if it pisses you off, but it doesn't have anything to do with you. And if you can't see that, you'll probably never move out of your parents' house. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Once again, tomorrow we're going to be learning about the great state of Colorado. And also check out my 2 different YouTube channels. I'm going to be uploading a video on my Sidekick channel coming up here. And everybody have a good night. Surround yourself with people that are going to inspire you and that's going to motivate you and push you in a positive direction. Don't surround yourself with people like Ice Poseidon or any of those losers, because you'll never get anywhere watching them. You'll never get anywhere hanging around them or thinking about them. So I'll talk to you guys later. Everybody have a good night. And remember to take care of the loved ones and protect yourself, because there's evil out there. There's people out there that will attack you. There's people out there that will rape and kill. And they'll do that unprovokedly. They'll do that to an innocent woman. They'll do that to an innocent child. They'll do that to innocent cats. The people the haters that come to my chat, those are the type of people you got to watch out for. There's evil out there, guys, and you got to protect yourself. Be ready. Never relax. There's evil out there. I'll talk to you guys later. Everybody have a good night.